G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Sailing Popao. We are in the beautiful Jervis Bay, and today
we're coming out to dive the Firefly Plame Wreck. Everything wants to say a shipwreck, but it's a plane wreck. It's the only one in New South Wales
only
like
plane
this.
wreck in New South Wales.
It's really, really good dive. We've dived this 10 years ago or something on scuba, but I think we can free dive it these days. It's only
about
12
metres
water
at the moment, and the viz is probably about as good as it's going to get in here.
Yeah.
We're riding off Koala Bay or Hare Bay, so
anyway, join us for something different.
Sailing over to Vincentia. Look at this water. Just beautiful, beautiful. Just got the heady out, doing about 4 knots, but what's the rush?
Oh, nuts. We had to wait until we sat down.
We're sailors. Oh, there we go.
So it's very hard to do it justice, but we are anchored here at Is it Vincentia?
Yeah.
Vincentia, I always get it mixed up with the other town. And the swell is huge. There is this 2.5 metre swell I saw on the weather report, rolling right into the anchorage. We came here to get provisions, but there's no way we can get off the tender without getting absolutely soaked, which just sort of defeats the whole purpose of coming in to get food and rubbish, take rubbish off. It's so big, there's actually surfers like 100 metres in surfing the rocks just off the front of the boat. Haven't really been able to capture it with the long lens, but it's standing up like just here and then it's breaking right on shore, so it is deep enough, but it definitely doesn't feel like it. These guys obviously don't want to get out of the surf. They just lit the place up with all their car headlights. Whoa. So they surf and down the beach, and they just literally stand up in a foot when they finish that ride, and then they just run up and jump back in again.
Okay, so we've just filled up water at Huskisson. It is an absolutely stunning day, and we're going to go check out the Fairey Firefly Plame Wreck. The viz is looking pretty good. It's in Koala Bay, so it's usually pretty dirty in there. Hopefully this viz stays like this, and it should be acceptable, and there's no thermocline. Probably just going to try and dive it straight off Popao. Tide's coming in. Swell is still big. Hopefully the ground swell hasn't stirred up the bottom, but anyway, see how we go. Okay, so we're nearly at the wreck site. So these planes, I think they crashed. There was two Fireflies that left out an hour, and they actually collided. The one that we're going to dive had about 3 foot of its wing chopped off, and unfortunately the other plane crashed near Moona Creek, and the pilot and co-pilot died. But the two that ditched into Hare Bay, where we're going now, actually managed to escape the plane, get in their life raft, and they were rescued by a Sycamore helicopter. So yeah, the wreck's in about 15 metres, and they've put a plaque down there for the 2 other guys that passed away, and yeah, a bit of naval history or Air Force history. The viz is looking good, so hopefully we'll get to show it to you. The last time we dived, it was many years ago, and the parachute was still there. I think the compass was there and it's still broken. But you know, you got the full Spitfire wings and the propeller and stuff like that, hopefully. Anyway, nearly there, and we'll see what it looks like. So that pretty much looks like the wreck to me. Or pretty bloody close.
That's probably the fuselage and a wing.
So it lines up with the, yeah, so we went over it. I'll go back around. cool. It's got the full propeller and everything. Forgot. It's heaps bigger than I remember. It's longer than Popao. It's 12 metres long. The full prop's just sticking out of the sand and everything. Huh? I don't know, it's pretty dirty on the bottom.
Michael's finally found the wreck with directions from me, the boat with the navionics mark, so that is right if anyone's looking at the same mark. And just make sure you get the one that says right over Firefly. Look how close here, literally that's the wreck.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Did you see the big rocky?
No?
I dusted up the aeroplane with my fin when I turned around. There's a big rocky.
A huge one?
Yeah.
Cool wreck. It's amazing.
There's no parachute in there anymore.
That crashed in 1953.
Oh, it's nuts, that's still there.
And it's still got all those bits all over it.
Woo! Oh, that was awesome. Worth it.
Well, there you go. Fairey Firefly shipwreck, plane wreck.
Shipwreck?
1953, it's been sitting down there, can you believe it? 1953, it's still got the full propeller, the tail's like intact. Yeah, the parachute looks like it's long gone, used to be there last time. I don't know how they survived actually, because there was still a parachute in there last time, so I don't know.
10 years ago and it's been there since what, 50?
Yeah, 53. Anyway, hopefully that did it justice and you guys enjoyed it.
Oh, what a spot. I don't want to leave.
So we got that red rocky that we caught. This is our snapper that we caught.
Better than a snapper,
3 nights
in my
of snapper
opinion.
fishing, and this is our beautiful snapper.
Third night trying to catch snapper. Hopefully a bit more luck this evening. Michael caught my favourite fish.
Oh, it's a stonker too.
It's a fatty. Let's stand away from this thing. These have venomous spines on it.
That is a huge...
Oh, watch your feet!
Oh, shit!
Oh. These are, hands down, the best eating fish in my opinion.
Poor man's lobster. For sure. Poor man's lobster. These spines here, they'll smash you. These ones on the head, there's not really any there. You're pretty safe there. You can hold them by this bottom lip. That one will get you. But yeah, these real bad.
That rock's coming out.
Oh yeah, whole fried. You may have seen it on our Adreno video. Yeah, whole fried Rocky and better rice. Whoa, mama.
Served on a bed of hummus.
Hummus? Hey?
The hummus lid in there. Ooh, and your bait bag. They can't resist a bit of food falling from the surface, can they?
No.
3 nights, no snapper.
But we got a Rocky at least. We're starting to get into the edible country. We'll have this line fishing thing wrapped up by the end of the season.
I'm happy for a Rocky. I'd rather
yeah.
that than a snapper.
Rocky is bloody tasty. I'm gonna fillet this. I've taken the scales off, just cut the actual skin off, and I'm going to try frying them separately to see if it does a bit of a trout skin kind of thing. But for this, I'm going to fillet it both sides, keep the wings on, and then I'll fry the frame up separately, because when I do the crispy deep fried Rocky that you might have seen me do a few times, the bones in the center never get edible. You can eat all the fins and the tail and stuff, but I figured if I fry the whole frame separately, you'll be able to eat the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to try it and see how we go. So that's why I call it poor man's lobster, because that meat is divine. Look at that. White, springy deliciousness.
So you've done a very sloppy fillet there. I can see a lot of meat left on that.
Not too bad, but that will be so tasty. Salt and peppered and deep fried. It'll be a crispy affair. You'll be able to eat all of these bones, I reckon. All of the fins. We'll do the fillet and the wings separate. I'll separate the wings. So we've got a bit of a pub meal going on here. We've got pre-made battered sweet potato chips that we made the other day. We parboiled them, tossed them in olive oil, a bit of salt and sugar and corn flour, and let that corn flour really absorb into the chips. And we actually cooked so much that we froze half of it. So these are frozen ones. They're coming out good.
They are amazing. I couldn't believe how tasty they were the other night when you made them.
And healthier than normal potato.
Yeah.
Even though they're swimming in oil.
Worth
But,
it.
so
Totally
we got that,
worth it.
and then we've got the red Rocky that you saw me preparing earlier. So I broke it down into the wings, the fillets, and the frame. Sesame oil, salt and sugar. And then I dusted it in corn flour, and it's just been sitting in corn flour all day. And that like reabsorbs see how the moisture absorbs all of that corn flour, and it actually turns into a really crispy batter. And it stays crispy. So these also corn floured are looking pretty good. I've made up this crack salt that I like to call. It's like half salt, and then a bit of sugar, a bit of chicken stock powder, a bit of Japanese chili flakes, like chili powder, and
What? That's new.
yeah, and what else did I put in there? And a bit of garlic powder. Oh my god.
Good?
Don't finish that.
Huh?
That's even better after it's been frozen.
Yeah. Did you parboil those?
Yeah. Parboiled.
Till like what sort of?
Almost too much, I think.
So when you like put the fork in, did it just slide in, or
No.
bit of pressure? Like half cooked?
It was still pretty easy to penetrate, but once I pulled it out, it
Can you use a different way?
when I pulled out, it was still easy to stick the fork in, but when I pulled it out, it kept cooking in the colander there, and it was like real mushy. Get your head out of the gutter.
Bloody crunchy down there, Michael.
Oh, it's like little bits of heaven. Wings. Oh, look at the crisp one. Crack salt. Got to mush it up so it's like a dust. It sticks to everything. So don't worry, it's not all salt.
It's sugar too.
Salt, sugar, chili powder, garlic powder. Oh, there's actually onion salt in there.
And
Which,
vodka.
for those that don't know, if you like KFC seasoning salt, onion salt is like the #1 like eureka moment when you add it to your little mix. Oh, it's like KFC.
10 for flavour, probably 2 for presentation, as usual. Alright, get into it.
We're not here to... Oh, look at that. So that's the tail. That's just the frame. So little bits of meat and then just all the fins and stuff. Ready?
Yep. Cheers.
Oh, man. That's good.
A lot of bones in there. Look at that.
Yeah, it's the frame.
Mmm. Oh, that is bloody good. That's the fins. Can't believe you're just eating bones. Mmm. That is so crunchy. Some of the fishies. This is my favourite fish. I don't know if you can see this, but it never dries out. It's like really like
It's like lobster.
spongy and lobster and just
Look at that.
amazing.
It's
It's sort of like Tusky. Show the
it's like
camera.
perfection.
It's so good. It's hands down my favorite fish. For cooking, it's my favorite. Like curries and
We didn't catch any
just
snapper,
fried.
but secretly not disappointed.
We have a very similar recipe for the Rocky. We'll post it below. We did it for Adreno last year while we were in lockdown. It is bloody good also. You really can't go wrong with Rocky. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Comment below. We'd love to hear any of your favourite Rocky recipes. And see you next episode.
Thanks, guys. Look at that. That tastes like straight out of the fish and chip shop.